Welcome back to Just in Our Minds. I'm Justin, your host, and this is Tyson Allred. You're working right now on a comedy show.
Yeah.
Show, and then there's you, and then is it one or two co-hosts usually on your podcast?
Just me and Logan.
Just you and Logan?
And then we have a guest.
Yeah. The Bearded Dad Bod?
Dad Bods and Beards.
Dad Bods and Beards. I was practicing that in the car. I always got to mess it up somewhere around here. But yeah, it's a really awesome podcast. I actually heard about Tyson from Felicia. So she's been on twice. She's a good friend of both of ours. Felicia's amazing. And he's an author. He wrote a pretty awesome book on, what's the name of it again?
Father's Guide to Mental Health.
Father's Guide to Mental Health.
It's more of a like a user guide.
A user guide.
I did that on purpose because I teach. And it's more of like, hey, this is what happens, as a new father or as a new man, like a man growing up. You're going to experience these throughout your life. And so it's like, hey, this is what we're talking about today. Like we're talking about finances in marriage. And then here's kind of a workbook to kind of help you understand everything to help you. And then we go talk about relationships outside of your marriage or outside of your significant others. And then we talk about depression and anxiety.
I mean, give them almost like bullet points, right?
So I have about 18 people, all various aspects of life, 18 men, from doctors to firefighters to entrepreneurs to amputees. James Dixon's in it, if you know who he is. So we have all different variations of life where they've gone through things that you will go through, but they went through it, and they succeeded in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked them to, like we had a gentleman named Vinny. Vinny he was very close to ending his life. He had the gun. He was sitting on his bed. It was in his mouth, and his daughter walked in, and that saved his life.
Mm. I've been there, not with a kid, but I understand.
So I have several stories, and then what I did is like, okay, so here's the takeaways from his story, and then here's some answers on how when you get to this point, what are you supposed to do? And then at the very end, I have questions of that chapter to help you understand, what you need to do and all that kind of stuff. So it's really, I've gotten really good reviews on it, and it seems like people are like, I wish I would have had this when I was younger, all this kind of stuff, because a lot of the things we don't talk about as men that I feel like should be common knowledge that aren't.
Yeah, 100%. And I think as a provider, and especially now getting into this weird culture of like ghosting and like being less in person like we are doing here, and it's more social media, so then you only see the best side of everybody's lives. Mm-hmm. Even with like getting back to like, people mess up. We mess up on podcasts. Sometimes we could I was sitting in my car for a while, to practice, and then I sabotage everything I said and said it wrong. It's like people coming on or whatever. So we all make mistakes. We're humans, and but having good like discipline, and also having good habits and what's the word I'm looking for? Structure or skills to rebound.
I like that word, skills, because it is a skill set.
Yeah, because it's like a safety
communicating net. Like a lot of the times, like I talk to my wife, especially right at the very beginning of our marriage, like I played football, we played sports, college, all that stuff, and you're kind of told, just walk it off, don't cry about it, just move forward. At least me, I was born in the 70s, and so in the 80s, I mean, that's literally how it was. Like, you just don't talk about it. Not that I was raised that way from my parents, because we talked, but to a certain extent.
Yeah, there's that.
Just because you just grow up, like, we don't talk about it. We just walk it off and everything's going to be fine. But then you get married, or then you have a significant other, then you have a partner, and it's inevitable. You're going to get in arguments. You're going to have feelings hurt. You're going to have things that you want to discuss, and we don't know how to do that. And so it's like, I'm trying to explain to my wife how I'm feeling at this moment, and it's coming across as I'm attacking her. And so, like I said, it's a skill set. I loved how you said it, because eventually, if you continue communicating how you feel, it's going to become a skill set where it's not attacking, even though you never meant it to be. Mm-hmm. It's more of a conversation now. But we have been taught not to communicate our feelings, and that is to our detriment.
And I was talking to some, so I have luckily I have female friends that I can actually be friends with, that there's no like romantic, it's platonic friendship. So I can talk to them, which is weird nowadays, being single, being a halfway decent looking guy, and tattoos and blah, blah, blah.
And a good stash.
Yeah, good stash.
Good stash.
I appreciate that. Just trying to keep the Burt Reynolds alive. I was actually talking to my tattoo artist, Josh. I was like, wouldn't it be funny just to like make a Trans Am Tesla, like one of the fast ones with the T-top.
Actually, that would be kind of cool.
Like you have it and you show up with like the mustache and the smoking in the
style, man.
Yeah,
like it.
it's I enjoy them a lot, but getting back to what we're talking about is I think that it seems like more and more like you said, people don't talk as much, and that like
feelings are hurt.
Feelings are hurt.
Very easy.
And there's some men too that are like, oh, women don't want to hear your problems. And I was like, well, there's a difference between being a victim and sorting through things with somebody. And I think that's a hard balance.
So I just did
for some people.
So my personal Instagram, because I own a company called Copper Johns, which is a men's grooming company, which I do mustache stuff and all that. But just plugging that in for you.
No,
I have to get you some.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, but I actually just talked about this because there was a guy who actually came and attacked me and said, this is weak. This is why women will divorce us. And I'm like, this is why women do divorce us, because we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we bottle things up, that's when we start getting resentment. That's when we start getting frustrated. That's when we distance ourselves. And that's what women don't want. What they want is say, hey, I love you. I'm having a hard time with this. I just want you to know that I'm not 100% today.
Mm-hmm.
And then what will happen is your wife, your partner will come to you and they will pick up the slack.
Yeah. It's also like, what kind of woman are you attracting? If you want somebody that I think there's a difference between a queen and a princess. Mm-hmm. Some girls want to be like showered with everything. And even if I've noticed that too with some women that are, cause I like intelligent women that work hard and things that, but even then sometimes they want to come home and they want to be pampered because they run their company. But which is fine. But I think there's space between that and the queen archetype, and the princesses want everything done for them and to them and whatever.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. Communicating how you feel does not mean, and it does not negate your responsibilities. Mm-hmm. I'm still going to go to work. Mm-hmm. I'm still going to bust my butt trying to do everything I possibly can for my family and my kids and my wife. I'm still going to treat her as best as I possibly can. It doesn't change the fact, though, that I need to relay to her, this sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to do this, but this sucks.
But then you have a woman with EQ, because she realizes when she needs, and that's what I mean is like, I think some of the younger guys that follow me or have questions that are in their late teens, early 20s, they're worried about like women leaving. And that's what I said. I was like, then that's a princess. You don't want a princess. You want a queen. If you're trying to be this king, but
I would also say that 99.99% of the women are not like that.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I don't know. I guess
because women want masculinity. Mm-hmm. They want a strong man, 100%.
Yep.
But they also want you to be able to communicate your feelings. Now, mind you, like today, Candace is my wife. She'll say, "How did the podcast go?" And it went awesome. I loved it. And she's like, "What did you guys talk about?" I don't remember, and it will be the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's things that I'm not good at, and because there's so much going on in my life, and she gets that. But then there's things where I'm like, hey, I'm struggling right now, and she's okay with that, and she gets that because I'm still doing what I need to do. I'm still being masculine. Mm-hmm. I'm still being the provider. I'm still being the patriarch of the home and helping my children with homework and helping them with the things that they need done. I'm still doing that. But when it comes to me and her, and let's say we're in our room about to go to sleep, and she's like, hey, Tyson, now let's talk about what you just said. And then we can have a true conversation. It's like, you know what? What you're doing right now is hurting me. And this is why. Mm-hmm. And it's not an attack. It's out of love. It's and all that. And that's okay. And that's, I feel like women, and that's what I want. That's what I want, because I want to be able to help my wife more than if there's a better way of doing something, I want to know.
And I've been on both sides of that coin, because I come from a group of men, not I wouldn't say necessarily always my dad, but my brothers and some of the other people that would always feel attacked, mm-hmm. Or they knew they were doing something wrong. So there's that psychological thing that they're like, they're not doing something right, so then they project outward. So I came from that side of things, and then it's fun to have enough emotional intelligence and have built that now as a man to be able to see both sides of the fence.
And it's funny when you're dealing with another man that doesn't have that. Mm-hmm. And so you have to not walk on eggshells with that person, but it's basically like, I know what's happening, so I know what I have to do. And sometimes it's rough.
It is. And it doesn't, like, especially with women too, it's like if there's a lot of I feel like with dating and online dating, people can create these weird illusions of themselves, and then they always have to live up to that, whatever that is, you know. And I think that's expectations, exactly. And then they're always painting that mask on every morning, hoping not to be truly seen. And I think if we can do a bell curve to get people back to being just openly themselves, as soon as we.
What's funny is this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but just what you just said, painting. Women love this story, love being all, you know, like they love this communication, and so guys lie. Men are physical, they love the appearance, so women put makeup on.
Yeah.
And that's just how it works. And so it's just like, and then you have to continue doing it. So I love what you just said.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, it's the painting of the face, and then the male, it's they lie because women listen, right? Is that, yeah, that's the combination of the two. It's funny though too, because I guess like depending on who you are, or like for me, like it's the opposite. Like I'm not a big fan of makeup, and then
neither am I. It's
yeah,
so funny.
yeah, I'd much rather
the natural,
because people are like, man, like why don't you date? They always, like, some of my friends are like, I feel like you date, like you punch down a little bit. I was like, no, I'll go for the EQ that's a 7. You know, she's still beautiful, but I don't need a 10 with all that baggage. Like some of them are like the most insecure people, and I'll be all their friend, no judgment, but I can't. Like
I looked out with my wife. We've been married 23 years. We have 6 kids, and she's amazing. She's put up with a lot. We've gone through a lot. She doesn't. She's gorgeous, and sometimes I have to remind her of that, which sucks because I'm like, I wish you knew how pretty you really were.
Yeah.
But her emotional intelligence is amazing. She's so smart.
It's hard nowadays too, especially like as women get older, and there are more things out there, and they remember what they did look like. And now we have so many pictures that you can go back on. You're like, oh, I remember. And then you get these reminders on
social
Facebook.
Media doesn't have.
This is you 20 years ago. You're like, oh.
Now it's because my kids are growing up. I have a 21, 22-year-old or something. He's just getting engaged, and now I'm just like. Then you go look back 15, 16 years ago, and you're like, oh, I miss that.
Yeah.
It's not the pictures anymore of me. It's the pictures of my kids.
Yeah.
It really does go fast.
It does. It seems like it. And then the older we get, the faster it moves, from the understanding of like from grade school and elementary school. There's like a theory on that. Like the
90% of their life will be like you'll be 90% of the time you see them is from ages 0 to 13, and after that it's 10%. The rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, it's wild.
True.
Well, now too, you blink or sneeze, like I'm like, 14 days went by.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is this?
The days are slow, weeks are fast.
Exactly, days are slow. Yeah, today in the pond, I felt like that. I was like, this is really cold. I had to kept going back inside to warm up, then come back outside. That was wild. But yeah. So like, we're other than, so you played football, you did wrestling. You grew up doing sports.
I did.
Are you from Utah originally?
Yeah, and then I lived in Idaho. My dad got a teaching job up in Idaho and Shelley.
Okay.
At the time, it's grown immensely, but at the time, it was roughly between 25 to 3,000 people, 2,500. It's about 30 minutes south of Idaho Falls.
Okay.
And then I went up to Rick's, and now it's called BYU Idaho. But that's where I was. And then my family's down here now. And fun fact is that my wife and her parents, or my wife's her parents and my parents went to school together, and they're high school sweethearts.
That's wild.
And I didn't know, and they were friends growing up and everything. And then I didn't know my wife until I was like 20, 21 at the time. And it was kind of strange coincidence, but yeah, now that we live like 3 miles apart from everyone. I don't know if that's good or bad, but
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? And then so growing up, you said that you had that issue, and then your spleen.
Yeah, my high school year.
Yeah, your high school year,
my senior year.
And then did you identify pretty heavily with sports? Was that like part of your identity, would you say, or was it just a hobby? Because some people, like, when things like that happen.
I wanted football and basketball, and I wanted to do that in the next level. And so it kind of sucked my senior year, where it's just like, you can't do physical sports or like any sports, because you just turn the wrong way, you get hit the wrong way, your spleens will just explode and die.
Yeah, no thanks.
So really, kind of like the only thing I got to do in my senior year was run track. And so it's just like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you're a pretty big guy too, so it makes sense you played football and did.
I weighed, so my senior year in high school, I weighed 195.
Okay.
I wasn't huge, but I was bigger than most. I was 6'3", 195, and then I served the LDS mission in Houston, and I came home and I was 240.
Okay.
And
that dang soul food budget, huh?
oh no, it was Spanish speaking, and so it was all like the taquitos.
Oh, 100%. I'm for like I said, my part of California too. Like that was one thing I really loved about
Flautas,
being out. Oh yeah, 100%.
the tortillas are like just lard and flour.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it was the bike. We biked everywhere we went. And my legs just like went. Phew.
Right, it all went to your legs.
Oh, dude, I went through like 20 pairs of pants because I kept splitting my butt.
Oh no!
It was hilarious.
In the name of Jesus.
I sit on my bike. I'm like, oh, there goes another pair of shorts.
So after when you got back from your mission, what were some of your goals like growing up because you said you met your wife at 21?
Yeah.
Okay.
Goals was I wanted to be a doctor, and I wanted to help people, and that was kind of my aspirations, and it didn't end up being that way. I have 5 degrees. I have a biology, chemistry, physics, sociology, then my MBA. And in biology and chemistry was kind of like the 2 things I was going for as like prerequisites for, taking the MCAT and things like that. And I went and did, you have to shadow doctors, and all that kind of stuff. And so I was in the ER once and shadowing some doctors. And first there was one where there was this beautiful lady, just a sweetheart, probably in her late 80s. And she felt a lump in her breast, and the doctor had to look, and I was in there, and I'm like, okay, this isn't for me. I'm grateful, so grateful that there's doctors who are willing to. And then literally the next day, there was a child playing with a propane tank that was on. He was just a little kid, as his dad was grilling, and it blew up, and it burned his whole entire body. He didn't have his nose was gone, the hair was gone. And I'm like, I can't do this. And so that's when I decided, okay, I'm like, this is not for me. And then I was lost for a good 20 years of just, I'm in cells, or I'm doing this. And the past 5 years is kind of where I really found myself, where the help that I really wanted to do. So I do. We've done a couple of keynote speaking engagements with Logan and myself. The Dad Bods Beards Podcast, where it's about men's mental health. We'd like to talk about the 4 pillars: physical, emotional, spiritual, and physical, emotional, spiritual, and what's the other one? Now I'm all... Anyway.
It's in the air today.
Yeah.
But I was like, I came in here super prepared, and I just ended up...
But spiritual, emotional, physical, and well-being, I can't... Anyway, point being is we really hit every aspect, and we've saved lives. And that's where I've really found myself just gravitating to is helping people. And then, part of a well-being is laughing and just taking a moment to say, it's okay. You can enjoy your life. You don't have to always just go.
I think that's part of the pressure of being a provider. And
you feel it.
Yeah.
And you feel all the time. And so that's why I really like, it's okay to be okay. And because sometimes we beat ourselves up, like, I'm not providing well enough, so you beat yourself up. Or, and so that's why we started Middle Age Mayhem, because we love to make people laugh.
Oh, me too.
And we have sold out everywhere we go. We're at the depot on the 18th. And then we're doing a celebrity wine fair, wine fest in March 21st. Like, Woody Harrelson's going to be there.
Cool.
We're going to have like Jelly Roll on our podcast now.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've had a couple of celebrities on, like Zachary Levi from Shazam and Chuck.
Are you friends with Vince Vargas? Do you know Vince?
I don't.
I'll get you linked up with him. He was Gilly and the Mayans, the show The Mayans.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So he was started Black Rifle, and
yeah.
So me and him are homies. I'll give you his. I'll reach out to him because he would love. He does the men's group too.
Yeah, and
he's here.
The reason why we have him, like, I do not care about your follower count. What I care about is that you care about people and that you want to help. And so, like, Zachary Levi came on, and his story, if you've ever read his story, he was struggling. Like, after Chuck, he had a lull. And then he had, like, not Tarzan, he had Tangled, where he was the voice actor for that. And he had little bits and pieces, but he got pretty much said no to Shazam. And he's like, and he was getting no's and stuff. And he was very close to taking his life. And so he put himself into a clinic and was able to understand why he had his depression and anxiety. And so now he has Nerd HQ, which we highly support.
Okay.
It's a nonprofit organization that will help anyone, no questions asked. if you need therapy and you feel like you can't afford it, we'll take care of it.
That's amazing.
And so we solely support that, and we support him in that. And but just like Jelly Roll's gone through a national.
Oh, I love Jelly Roll.
Yeah, so do I, and I love his story because it's just he's triumphed, and he continues to help.
They're gonna have to start calling him like Crepe or something now, though.
Dude, it's tiny.
He's tiny.
But it's just we've had Skinny Vinny on from Jackass, and where he had tried to not kill himself so much, but he tried to overdose several times, and he finally found his people in rehab, which was the Jackass people. And so we've had a lot of these like comeback stories, of which I love, but Logan and I just talk, and sometimes, and where we talk about certain situations in life and what we're going through and how we're feeling it. We are 100% authentic, 100% real, and we don't hide anything. And we've had people just say, you saved our lives. We've had to do a couple of very close call out of the country and do wellness checks where they say, this isn't you guys, but I want to tell you goodbye. Thank you for everything you've done. Right? Nope. Yeah. Like we had to call Ireland, and luckily he's a customer of Copper John's. And I'm like, hey, this is where he lives. I'm like, who are you? Like, you're not from Ireland. I'm like, I know, I'm from America. Well, how do you know he's okay? Because what he told me, no, we're not going to go. And I'm like, dude, go check. And they finally did. And it's just things like that. We've had to call everywhere, and it's hard. So we've done a couple of we've been to suicide awareness prevention. I'm affiliated with I Love You Bro now, which is a men's support group. I'm a group facilitator for Ogden. And so we meet every Monday at 7:30 to 9, where I facilitate that group so that men feel loved, and that they can be heard, and or just get a hug and tell them that they're loved, because some guys just need that. But I'm all about that, and I find my place finally, if that makes sense.
No, that's great. Dude, like, and it's hard to, even for myself, to see that you have a lot of blessings, and sometimes it's just, I don't know if it's from my 15 concussions or whatever.
15?
Yeah, lot. Yeah. So I used to, the whole Jackass thing, I used to like skateboard, mountain bike, all the like, used to try backflips on BMX bikes, and then boxing every day, and MMA back then was like full fights.
Oh no,
like in early 2000s. No. Well, I mean, you'd have gloves, but it'd be a war. Like, unless somebody got almost knocked out, then it didn't matter.
See, that's why I never, like, I did everything, but I never boxed, because I'm like, I don't want to punch people my size.
Yeah,
exactly. Hard.
Yeah. And then for me, even from like age 15 and 16, I was fighting grown men.
Yeah.
Like in tournaments, and some of them in our hometown, like the only people for me
and that's definitely
like
a huge difference in body. Even though they weigh the same, the muscle mass is a lot different.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I knocked most of them out.
Really?
Yeah.
So why aren't you doing it professionally?
I remember the concussion that gave me the reason I didn't do it is because I had a brain bruise that gave me epilepsy when I was younger, and my dad, when I was in like second grade, and my dad was like, "Why would you want to be a pro fighter?" That's the only thing that kept me from doing it, because I told him I wouldn't.
You definitely have the skill set.
Yeah, and I grew up from age like 14 carrying logs and blue collared. Like I did offshore drilling and onshore drilling.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so like I can deadlift close to 600 pounds and carry around.
How much do you weigh right now?
197.
Oh, you're just a wheel guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're
yeah, but I'm about 189 pounds of lean mass. Nice. So it's just all muscle.
Yeah.
But I'm about as strong as a guy that's like 235. But in my last jiu-jitsu tournament, I went all the way up to 240 to compete.
Oh, nice.
With my gi on, I weighed 199.
Really?
Yeah, well, they just needed more people because it's a smaller tournament, and they're like,
and why not?
I was like, yeah, this is what jiu-jitsu is for, right? So the small guy can
compete.
Yeah, I did well, took gold and silver, but anyways, so
sorry, this is really cool to me. That's why.
No, for sure. I mean,
your listeners probably already know this, but
no, they don't. I actually don't talk about myself a ton yet on some of the aspects. Like I get into it, but a lot of them don't know like the background of the things I do.
Okay.
Yeah, like I just more so I do a solo podcast and stuff like that too. But it's funny because some people are like, "Man, we want to hear more about you too."
No, but legit, yeah, you have an interesting story.
Yeah, and my story is interesting too. There's a time between
we're gonna have to get you on ours.
Yeah, the time between 17 and 21 where I was I was disappointed I didn't have a felony and I wasn't in prison, because a lot of my family members were either affiliated with biker gangs or drugs.
You were
disappointed because I thought it was a male initiation into my family. My dad's not like that, but it all grew up around that stuff.
Yeah, we got to have it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll send you a podcast that I was on a while back, but yeah, I haven't been on as many for me. So, like, it's just wanted to.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, for me, I struggled with that like 2 years ago. I ended up with a ketamine addiction, because I had two of my best friends pass away, and then I broke up with and my girlfriend of like on and off for like 5 years, and one of my best friends before that. Like, so we were best friends from when I moved here in 2012 to 2017, and then we started dating. So like, I wasn't checking those boxes. I didn't feel like a provider, and I'd wake up and I didn't understand why. I had a great life. I had money in the bank. I had more money than I ever had in my life. And then friends started passing away. And it just, it was just that. I don't know what that was, but I couldn't get over it for a while. But I had friends that I could talk to and stuff like that. So for me too, it's the same thing. It's like, just text me, call me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate people like yourself that open that door for other people. Like, a lot of people don't have. I just had another friend from Special Forces commit suicide probably like 3 months ago. And I'm one of person. So I guess I thought it was common. So I probably have one or two friends either pass away from a drug overdose or kill them, or off themselves, or some sort of freak accident, at least once, anywhere from 1 to 3 year.
You know who you need to get on? Danny Bates.
Okay.
And I can give
Yeah.
her husband died by suicide.
Okay.
And she just goes over how the other side, like the after effects of what happens when your spouse dies, and what happens to your children and all that. And it's amazing. It was a really cool story. And she gets a lot of flack from the community from that, because there's a whole community of those who support each other after death of the loved one. And because her idea is be selfish, meaning be selfish and say, don't do that to me.
And I had a
guilt trip the crap out of him. It was interesting.
I had a brother die when I was 9 of a drug overdose, and it was wild because I think about it. My nephew, one of them, was the same age that I was when he passed away, and there's a chance. Like, I don't know how I didn't pass away, because some of those days were like, I'd be up. Yeah, it was I mean, like, I just would. There was a lot of ketamine some of those days, and but anyways. Yeah, it was an interesting process, and I'm pretty vulnerable.
How'd you get over?
I just decided.
Just had enough one day?
Yeah. I just it's like, it was like a year ago was probably the worst of it, and then I was like, no, I can't. I started going to church again, started praying, and I was just like, no, I'm good. Same thing with me and alcohol. I took 6 years off. Just one day I woke up and I was like, I'm done.
That does not happen.
No, it doesn't. Luckily for me too, I have 26 certifications, so I understand like the neurochemical side of things too. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but so I was taking NAD and did different things that usually people don't do, and that way too I could repair the brain as well and get better sleep and different things like that too. So, and then just like kind of taking the friends groups, but then like, as stress happens, financial stress happens between businesses and things like that, you're gonna fall to your vice.
100%.
So there was a couple times where I did it again, but overall, like, it was and then I ended up drinking a little bit because it's also a GABA antagonist, and so I replaced one with the other, and then I was supplementing GABA, and then I was able to pull myself out of it. And then I built a bunch of programs and things like that now too that kind of help people with those things, or
really
alcohol, things to help like the reset your like mucosal.
You need to talk to Curtis Morley and kind of collab with him. Curtis Morley?
Yeah. We'll have to list up.
He has a lot to do with addiction.
Okay.
But rather than you're not doing addiction for the addiction purpose. Like, you're not drinking, or you're not looking at porn, or you're not doing drugs because you're necessarily addicted to that, but you're addicted to the shame.
Yeah, the shame in mine was the dopamine. I don't know if I just haven't produced enough, but that was one of the things. Like, and it was like, if it is porn or whatever, because I was introduced to porn at 10. I lost my virginity at 11 to a 14-year-old, and like, so there was a bunch of stuff there that just like compounds down.
Wow.
And that's another reason why I was talking to Felicia, is because I was like, we have to meet. And then you ended up following me, and I was like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I don't believe in coincidences, like divine timing. But the thing is too, like, even with all the discipline in the world, you can just catch yourself on the wrong day. Because I had a prescription for ketamine because it helps with the left and the right hemisphere of the brain.
Oh yeah, no, there's
a nasal spray for it, and I could make a nasal spray last longer than a month. And so just 1 gram, but then there was times where like the gram became like a day. Like where I'd be done with a.
Yeah, so Logan believes in ketamine because he's bipolar,
Mhm.
and ketamine really trains your brain to create those new
Yep.
neural pathways so that you can get over the things that was created because of those, because of bipolar, because of other things, and it's just like, yeah, the ketamine definitely, but it can be abused just like everything else.
And anything can be a shame cycle.
Yeah.
That was something I was always way too hard on myself because I grew up around a lot of people that.
I'm going to introduce you to Danny. I'm going to introduce you to Curtis.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll introduce you to Vince and a couple other people too to get on.
It's all about the world. It's networking.
100%. Mutual. And then there's another podcast in Australia I'd like to get you on. He's a black belt out there, but he has a lot of real fun. He talks a lot about like what men need and things like that. And I think you'd be a pivotal podcast for him too, because I think he has a lot of like masculine men on there, but I haven't listened to all his podcasts. So
Are you saying I'm not masculine?
No. No, but
tell me.
No, I'm saying me and you might not have such like a gung ho like punch your way through.
Oh no.
And I haven't listened to all of them. I think he has a lot of really intelligent people on there, but like it's just a different approach sometimes.
And I love that. That's why we have so many people like and yourself. It's just like that's why you go to, let's say you go to if you go to Chevy their board, you'll see that you have like Sally Mae on there. You'll have Sara Lee, the bread company. You'll have, it's like everything but cars. The reason being is because all of us have something different to bring to the table. And even though not you and I, but the two of us that maybe have a disagreement or look at something differently, doesn't mean that we're wrong either side. It's just that we're looking at it a different way. And so I love it. I love when we get to talk about different points of view.
100%. And that's I think one of the issues with society nowadays is we're just so stuck on tribalism. There has to be a right, there has to be a wrong, even with other coaches and stuff like that.
That's what I tell my kids, because there's one of my daughters, she's a huge AOC fan, and nothing wrong with that. But she's all this and they're wrong. I'm like, do you think so-and-so hates America? Do you think so-and-so hates you? And they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, they're just doing what they think is best, and same with her. And I'm like, so there's got to be a point where we all just compromise, because we all want what's best, and maybe their best is different than our best, and it doesn't mean either one of them wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately, behind like the puppet masters that are probably over everything and like help create the mental illness on both sides of the factors, it's like pushed forward to where like, you have the two dogs that are on the other side of the fence and they're getting pushed towards each other.
Now we're talking about conspiracy theories. And
yeah.
There's a lot of crap out there that is like money. Yeah. There's a lot of things that would just be done if it wasn't for money.
And it's two sides of the same coin, unfortunately. And then you just have like two people that are very passionate on both sides that feel backed into a corner. And it's like they're gnawing at their own wrist to get free, and they're gnawing at everybody else. Like, it's just like this scared dog at the shelter.
And that's why the news agencies sell gossip. They don't sell news, they sell gossip.
100% for pure fear propaganda and everything else. So now it's a scarcity for it. Because we don't all watch the same news channels anymore. But now there's so much more, and the 15 seconds of like, and no one researches anything anymore to see what's real.
Yeah, like Facebook said this. I'm like,
yeah.
TikTok said this. I'm like,
Exactly. Were you sipping your coffee in traffic?
I'm like, was that AI generated?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's all meant to have you watch the next one and get upset. So yeah, that's I guess for me too, my dad taught me to try to be an outside the box thinker. And so like the Matrix, I just try to get myself out of those gears and try to think for myself. And even if something like triggers me nowadays, I'm like, why does that trigger you?
Yeah.
Why? Like, why not like be able to be the warrior?
Sometimes you have to be self-aware and like, this isn't normal.
No, it's not. And then like, I think the best version of that is being able to create violence and destruction if necessary, but using that as like the last source.
Yeah, kind of what Jordan Peterson said.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
being able to navigate the waters without having to actually use it.
Yeah. And that's true masculinity.
Yeah. Being able to walk into most room and be like, because people ask, and I'm not a black belt. Like I've been training for a while. They're like, could you go into most rooms and feel like, I was like, oh yeah, most people are not a threat, but they're capable of hitting you anyway. So you got to be aware. So, like it's 6
I've never been in a fight in my entire life.
No?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's why I think about that sometimes because I hang around a lot of like pro fighters and different people. So for me, my accolades don't match up to that. Yeah. But I've had more fights than most people would before I was even 18.
No, it's true. But I've always been the big guy.
Yeah.
So like you were talking about lean mass, I'm like, my lean mass is 238. So if I get down to 250, my goal is 250 so I can go skydiving. I've always wanted to skydive. But that means I'm like at 3 to 4 to 5% body fat. I'm like, that'll be rough, but I'm going to get there.
Oh, and you're, I mean, I guess you could, I wouldn't do it, but you could dehydrate yourself a little bit beforehand. But at that elevation, I wouldn't suggest that. No, you'd be blacking out and not even remember it.
Well, and then I always think like you're getting strapped to the guy's chest, and I'm like, am I just going to be backpacking the guy everywhere I go?
Or girl, because like they have to match your weight because there's going to be a certain amount of weight.
Yeah, and I called Moab to go cliff diving or cliff jumping, and you have to be 220. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll never do that.
No.
I'm like, there's some things I'll just never get to do.
Well, you can probably go cliff jumping. Just you got to find your own cliffs and ones that are deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be able to do it myself.
Point your toes. Stomp the water and point your toes.
No, it's not cliff diving, cliff jumping.
Oh, cliff jumping. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big squirrel suit.
Because right now I'm 270 and I'm training for a marathon. Because I want to do high rock. I did high rocks and I didn't do as well as I want to. And I'm like, what did I lack? I lack cardio. And so I'm just going to kill cardio this year with.
I'll help you with VO2 max. I was going to offer you a couple sessions with me because I'm more biomechanics. Like I could watch you walk across the ground and tell you your left arch is collapsed and that's why your right knee's messed up. And
I had knee replacement because of football here.
And part of it too could be the big foam shoes and different things like that too. I mean, there's freak accidents, cleats, rotation, but there's a lot of things like just watching somebody in the gym, like rib cage flares, and I mean,
they have coniferous syndrome because with this, I heard like I would be walking and I would just collapse because it would give out. So this is completely like when I was 40, and I'm 46 now. I completely just got it redone.
Yeah.
There was no ins, but because of that, I put so much weight on my right side that now my piriformis,
yeah.
sorry,
no worries.
The muscle will wrap around it and tighten, and then it'll shoot just electric shocks all the way down my leg.
Yeah, so fascial tissue, like say if you have an injury somewhere, fascial tissue will wind up in the point there or wherever it is, and then tighten up on the other side because everything runs bilateral, contralateral, so you have X patterns all the way through your body. There's like that's why I was like, oh man, if he's gonna give me some samples, I'll hook you up with a couple sessions, and then we'll do an assessment to see like how everything's functioning, and I'll show you how you could score on that, and then I'll show you some stuff to basically because my toes like if you notice I wear real wide toe box shoes and everything, and I used to have like toes that would cross over each other because they were shit kickers a lot of the time, cowboy boots, and then I had amnesia in these two toes, and then I had to learn how to recalibrate and open.
That's why I wear the wide toe shoes.
Yeah. But the big foam, what happens to...
Well, these are my running because I'm going to go running.
No worries. I'm not judging. I'm just saying sometimes, like, if you build foundation, if you build it on sand, then the foundation isn't structurally sound. So what happens is a lot of people put orthopedics and things like that for their arches, and they backfire. So the orthopedics and, like, because most people that do orthopedics, like, they might have, like, a short-term benefit, but in the long term you have to build like the plantar part of your foot and like your arches and you got to make sure all the ligaments around your metatarsals and stuff like that, the bones in your toes can function.
And I just thought that was just time. So like Brock, you know Brock Painter? I'll introduce you.
Cool.
It's all about time on your feet when it comes to me, and because my muscles are so strong, like, you know, I work out every day lifting. And then I batted running to it. But he's like, your muscles are strong, but standing, the tendons, it's like people say you have a bad knee. I'm like, he's like, you don't have a bad knee, your tendons are just weak. Your ligaments are weak because he's like, so it's just about time on your feet. And so he wants me to do a lot of like hiking and stair climbing. And, because he's like, you're distance wise, you're doing great. It's like,
but if your
underlying factor is that
the underlying factor is if your ankles aren't moving properly and one ankle has more mobility than the other and one hip rotates out left more than the one on the right, and then your knees and hips have different internal rotation, external rotation, all that plays in. He's not wrong. Like building tendon strength is huge, but there's also biomechanics that work up the chain, and that's where it all starts in your feet.
Dude, I'm really interested.
Yeah, it's night and day difference, usually within 45 minutes of working with most people. But yeah, it comes from the ground up, and most people, they only address symptoms because that's what they know. It's not, I don't think anybody's a bad coach. It's just everybody chooses to pick something. It's like taking your car to Valvoline to get the oil change. They'll point out some things, but they're not a transmission specialist.
He is a neuro mastery coach. So a lot of like Felicia.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just some of the things that he does is like he wants you to do some hard things to prove that you can do hard things to yourself.
No, it's great.
And so like for a lot of that stuff is is physical.
Yeah.
Because
Who's gonna get a boat?
Yeah. And so for me, it's like I ran a half, and I never thought I could do a half.
Mhm.
I ran a half last year, and I ran high rocks last year, and I never thought in a million years would I ever complete something like the high
great,
rocks.
100%.
Yeah, and I did 2 hours and 3 minutes, and I was embarrassed. I completed it. A lot of people don't even do that, but I was embarrassed. And
It's
so
like, have you ever done Spartans or anything? Or
yeah, I'm actually signed up for the Spartan.
Cool. Yeah, I used to do the OCRs competitively, and then like some days I'd get there.
I just did the open 5K this year.
The only reason I say it is because I get there and there's like some 80-year-old man that's overweight and he's just walking up the hill, and he signed up way before I did. And, I'm questioning signing up. He had no question. He knew he was going to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it takes him 2 runs.
But the thing is I weighed 250 or 352 when I started all this.
Oh, great, dude.
And mine is more of like, I just want to live.
Longevity.
Yeah.
And that's why I talk biomechanics. Because then, say if you're training high rocks and you're training,
but I want to be competitive now.
Yes.
And that's why I'm doing the marathon, because that's where I lacked. I didn't lack the strength.
Yeah.
I did not lack the ability to push a sled. I did that faster than everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's the running.
Yeah. And it's hard too, because being as tall as you are too, like it helps, but not with the weight difference. Like it's a slower pace, That's the same thing when I did, I was trying to qualify to go on to, what's that show called? Ninja Warrior.
Oh,
a couple years ago in my late 20s, we did the course. We qualified.
Oh,
okay. And then I don't know.
Yeah,
but it doesn't ring a bell.
Okay.
But me and my buddy are both like 6, so I'm about 6, maybe like 6'1".
Yeah, you're
up straight.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then so he's about 6'2". We're both like 200 pounds, and we do good. Like we finish the course, but then the other guys are about 145, 6'1", or shorter, and they're spider monkeys. And that's when you realize you're like a gorilla.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
no, you're not small.
No, I was like, I'm not. I thought I was a chimpanzee.
No,
and I'm like,
you're 195.
Yeah. Right now I'm 200.
Okay. Still.
Yeah.
I mean, anything above, like you said, 150. But that type of sport
and that height. So we finish. I'm like, yeah, we finished. We were 2 of the first ones to finish, and then the other guys like get faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And I'm like, oh, I see. All right, well,
I can beat you up.
No, I didn't even think. I just like, we're gonna see ourselves out.
Yeah.
So I got blisters now and I'm done. Like I was like, we can finish. That was our goal. But people are like, we're gonna do as fast as possible, and I'm like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
I don't have that today. I got 4 out of this, and I was training to win. I thought, but I was just training to finish.
Yeah.
Everybody else was getting fast. I mean, don't get me wrong. So there's like 5 people that were training to go faster. Everybody else didn't finish. So we're one of like 11 people out of like 60 that did it. And so we did finish.
No, it's a huge accomplishment either way.
But these guys
those
aren't
like, easy.
And they wasn't even the biggest course. It's like these are smaller ones that you get to try first to go out to that one. And they were just getting faster and faster and faster. And I'm like, we're in the wrong jungle gym.
Yeah.
I should do stuff on the ground. But
we did it.
Yeah, but we did it exactly. But getting back to like your side
Sorry,
of things too. No, I do too. It's okay. It's one of those days where apparently structure's not in our wheelhouse, which is okay. But no, it's interesting too. Sometimes I feel like I have downloads and it's like, hey, we need to talk about this. I need to help you with this. Like when it comes to coaching or whatever that is, like I was like, you need to offer him this. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll. So it's fun to see, like being able to do anything. Because for me, I have a 68-inch box jump. Like,
what?
And I could show you videos. Like I don't.
Holy crap!
And I didn't have that.
I just saw you working out your abs that one day, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, I could do the splits. I can run almost 20 miles an hour. Like, and I wasn't able to do all this in my earlier ages, learning biomechanics, like being able to, I can do 2-finger push-ups. I can do one-arm pull-ups.
I want to do a pull-up.
Oh, we can get you to do a pull-up.
I haven't been able to do a pull-up since college.
I would do practice the deficits. So get to the top of the bar and slowly let yourself down.
So I don't know if it's how I sleep or how I'm doing like shoulder workouts, but my right shoulder hurts when I hang.
Switch to dumbbells instead of barbell work.
Okay.
And then do a lot more face pulls. So if you stand up and you look like you have a little bit of internal rotation, so that causes your shoulders to internally rotate, and that pinches the front delt. and then usually that can cause issues in your
Yeah, it's right here is where, like, when I can feel it just right there.
Yeah, and then I can already see too when you reach your arm above your head, your rib cage flares. So you have tight lats too.
Oh, I'm very tight.
But there's ways to avoid that without having to do like a crazy amount of stretching too. So just like teaching your nervous system to be like, oh, this can be on here without this having to be on here.
Yeah, you know the front squats where you do this. I have to like just wrestle like this and go down.
I promise 1 hour we can get you doing a real front squat.
Yeah.
Because I mean I wasn't like crazy, like I was just strong. Like my overhead squat was like 285, and then my front squat was like 3 something, and then anyways, but like not strong for like powerlifting or like competitive Olympic lifting, but stronger than he.
Well, like I was Monday or Tuesday, I just benched 405. I wanted to see if I could do it. Yeah, I can do it, but because I tore my labrum when I tried 500. But that was years ago, and I'm like, I'm getting my strength back.
Yeah, so what happens is,
so I'm strong. It's just like for some reason.
Well, and there's other kinds of strength. So like, and that kind of 2-dimensional training will make you train more like concrete. So like for longevity, you want to train like bamboo. So you're pliable. With jiu-jitsu, I'm forced to. A lot of people don't though. So you don't have external rotation, internal rotation. Like Andrew over here, he was a dancer, so his style of movement's a little different, and he has good body awareness. But then we have to develop different level of strength to counterbalance his background. So for you're really strong at pushing movements and things like that from football and wrestling. But for high rocks, some of these other things, you got to work on spinal graph
for like 6 straight months. I've been doing that. And I love it. Like lunges, I have a hard time.
Yeah, and then external rotation of the leg. That knee could go down further too. That just little things you see. All those things they're tight hip capsule, and then when the hip capsules are tight, your psoas gets tight. And then if you think of your bones as like tectonic plates rather than just like a structure, some of those need to move. Like your cranial plates and your hips and things like that. They need a little more space to move around. But
I've tried chiropractic, but it doesn't seem to work.
Chiropractors that actually do muscle testing and test your nervous system, that's who I'd go to, not the clicky poppy ones. So ones that can put their finger somewhere and make your arm weak. It's weird, but that way their nervous system tells them. I always thought
that was a little like hocus pocus crap.
Maybe I'm gullible, and everybody else. No, it works. It's wild because like if you put your certain fingers, just go like this.
Because they'll do this and they'll be like this, and like you're off. I'm like, I can do that to you too. You know what I mean?
So some of these are like they put their finger somewhere and they'll test your arm will be strong, and then they put their finger somewhere and you're weak, and then that's just your nervous system. It's a cue to like test your nervous system. So then there'll be different pinpoints that they can adjust, and they adjust off of like the roadmap of your body. Oh yeah, it's so crazy.
Wow, I've always wondered but I haven't cared enough to.
Yeah, because I worked for this place called the Human Garage. They have like millions of followers now. A bunch of professionals came through there. It was in LA. Now they're in Mexico, I think. But we had myofascial release. We had cranial therapy, chiropractic therapy. They do a lot of jaw releases, things like that through your mouth. And it was cool to see all that. I was like the reconnection.
Dude, you know a lot.
Yeah. Like I spent 15. So I've been a coach since I was 18. I'll be 37. And every day for like 4 or 5 hours from like 26 to probably like 33, I was studying.
Wow.
Yeah.
For you.
And if I didn't know an answer, I would have to go home and research or call somebody. And then my friends that are physical therapists and things like that will hit me up and ask my opinion on things. Still.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So like
where they have the degree, but you're like, well.
Just, different book information. And it's not that they know a lot more than I do, especially with all these Latin terms and things like that. Like for me, like
But you just know how the body works.
Yeah. Or have a good idea for symptoms. Like maybe it's from childhood trauma and things like that I didn't always feel safe, so I had to learn body awareness at a different level. And I think like being able to see like that, like so that's where I picked up on being able to see how people's bodies move, and
that's really cool.
Yeah,
and sad.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you see like it's cool too, because like then you have somebody release like a hip flexor or something like that too, and then they release some energy that was stored there too, because the fascial tissue, it's like a crystalline structure. It can hold on to energy, supposedly. Some science will show it.
No, I believe that. My daughter, I shared this in my podcast just recently, because your story, like my story, it involves my whole family. So I couldn't tell my story of why I do what I do because it involved everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughter's doing amazing now, but she tried to take her life several times. And the reason why I'm telling you all this is she's doing amazing now, but it was the hardest time of our lives,
Mm-hmm.
my wife and I, and hers, obviously. And but she stores so much energy, and just like her shoulders just go up like this when she panics, and she panics as she used to a ton. And now she's just knotted up, and it's just, but no one can get it out. It's just one giant knot on her shoulder blade. Well, right here on her traps.
Have you ever had her got a blood test done?
Not that I'm aware. I'm sure they have.
I would do. We'll link you up with Kimball at Prime Labs. I'd like to see what her potassium levels are. Random thing, but traps too. Like if her potassium's not high enough, or she's burning it weird with stress, that can lock up there.
Oh.
And then on top of that, like if she chest breathes and doesn't know how to activate her diaphragm, it's gonna trap energy up there too. So like learning how to breathe and breathe through your intercostal muscles, because it's not just breathing here or here, it's being able to spread and expand your rib cage too. Your intercostal muscles are the little ribs, or the little muscles in your ribs. So like I think maybe especially with women too, they can have a lot of trauma here for emotional trauma, things like that. And my guess is it's getting trapped back there. And then there's also potential for potassium deficiency that you can get.
That's interesting. Yeah,
trapped in the neck, like trapped in the traps, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be something.
Yeah, because we had a massage therapist, everything, and it just doesn't seem to go away.
No,
she's always in pain there.
Yeah, I would guess that there may be something there too. That, and then it sucks too for women because they have to wear bras and different things, and that traps their ribs, so they can't breathe properly at the top of their rib cage because it's always smashed. So like,
well, I wear mine too.
Yeah, same. I took it off today.
Yeah,
I was trying to cut
my moves.
Yeah,
I swear that's the last thing that's going away.
Really?
Yeah, it's like from here up, I struggle. Or from like it seems like my legs, my arms, but it's just like.
Do you drink a lot of coffee or anything?
Mm-mm.
No.
Soda. Diet soda though.
Okay.
Soda.
When's the last time you got a blood test done?
I don't
remember. No. Well, I'll link you up with Kimball. He's owner of Prime Labs. They're way cheaper than insurance, and you can get a 60 panel done, which is a lot, big panel. And they're like $200, $250. But what happens is, my guess is it's cortisol. Men hold on to cortisol here. Yeah. And you can mitigate that. You can get rid of cortisol, especially in the morning if you do electrolytes, water, and then I usually do creatine and amino acids first thing in the morning. Some people do caffeine, blue light, whatever it is.
I hear if you do 10 grams, or is it milligrams?
10 grams of creatine.
10 grams of creatine actually helps get rid of, or helps with your ADHD.
Cognitive function, everything. Yeah, you could do it right before podcast.
Caffeine, and it seems like whenever I do 10 grams, because I've been doing it, really does help my ADHD.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the stuff too, like they have things that are vasodilators that'll help with blood vessels, because caffeine and things like that are stimulants, so they'll restrict blood flow. That's why when people drink caffeine and they stop, they get headaches, is because they're actually getting the proper amount of blood flow to their brain.
Oh.
And there's some other factors.
I actually can drink like a Monster, right before bed, and I'll sleep better.
Yeah, you have a cortisol issue, cortisol and adrenal, and that's why you're holding on to things around here.
Really?
Yep.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, we'll shut the back door too. We just gotta. Yeah, so caffeine doesn't do anything but block the adenosine receptor. So, and adenosine, what it does is it's the hormone that makes you feel tired. So like if you look, there's a podcast you can listen to on caffeine that's like an audiobook, and basically tells you that caffeine, the reason that it became a big thing was because the Rockefellers and them were looking for something to give people more morale, so they gave them coffee breaks. Oh. So instead of giving you like energy, it just blocked off the feeling of being tired. And then that's why 2 hours later, it messes with your blood sugar and a bunch of other stuff. And
so how come drinking a Monster, literally last night, 11:30 at night, I drank a Monster and I went right to bed and I just slept like a baby?
Your body is so used to drinking the energy drinks that it just doesn't respond the same way. If you took time away from it and took something like paraxanthine, which is a caffeine analog, those will affect you differently. I know friends. I've had.
It's just because I just do it too much.
To do it too much, your mucosal lining in your gut's going to be affected. I liked energy drinks too, and once I got off of them again, my digestion was way better. My stools were more even. My mental clarity was there.
Is that what it is? Because we went to Belize, we had the best experience ever with the Maya people, and went to some amazing caves where it's very spiritual. Like, I'm not allowed to talk about it, because we got in trouble because we did.
Yeah, no worries
on our podcast,
Yeah.
and they actually like, no, you're taking that out. But I went. My bathroom was amazing. It was there for like 2, but I didn't have any soda. I didn't have any, and it was all natural food, no process.
That's why.
And it was just like, is this how it's
because you have a mucosal lining in your gut, your good and bad bacteria get disrupted, and then like your brain too. Like if I don't have like,
so I really need to stop drinking those.
Yeah, and then with the electrolytes, I had this guy named Troy. He's overweight, short guy, great guy, love him, like salt of the earth. He lives in Harriman. He's one of my clients. He was drinking like 6 Monsters a day, and once we got him on electrolytes and things in the morning and moving, he didn't have to drink them anymore, and he didn't have to crash. He didn't we can get you.
What kind of electrolytes?
I say stay away from liquid IV, things that have dextrose, because that's going to disrupt your stomach too. Element Tea. There's a bunch of local brands too that are really good. It's just something that maybe has stevia or monk fruit in there, or and then a well-sourced salt like Redmond's Relight's really good.
Yeah.
Something I like, especially if you're running and stuff. You want something with higher potassium. The potassium's also going to help you with your cardiovascular health. So this is just turning into a fitness podcast. No, but
I'm sorry if I'm.
No, it's okay. No, I love it.
I'm asking you all the questions. I don't know if
no, that's okay. It was supposed to happen today. No, but that's my background, and it wasn't like to be the best. But a lot of the people I talk to now, like that are coaches, are like, dude, you're like a top 1% coach.
Yeah.
Because and it's breathing, it's movement, it's everything. It's like being able to dial in, and also not like. So like I know I keep bringing up Andrew, but with Andrew, he's more creative and he wants to flow. So you have to add those things in there too, so they also get that hit of dopamine while they're training. So it's not just so like structured into tailored for what your brain is. It's like creating a blueprint that's going to be sustainable for you as an individual.
Okay, one other question, because you're smart. Is it better? I haven't had a chance to work out this week. I have been nonstop from 6 a.m. to about midnight every night this week. Just how it's unfortunately been. Today will be the first time I work out. Now, let's say it's 11 o'clock last night. I have a choice. I can go to the gym or I can go to sleep. I'm exhausted. What's better for you?
What time are you waking up?
6 or 5. 5
and 11.
I always wake up at 5:30.
Okay, but you're talking about going to the gym at 11 p.m.
Or do I sleep if I haven't worked out?
I would say it would be counterproductive, but if you can somehow recalibrate and sleep in a little bit, which
because I still have a full-time job.
I would say for you, somebody that's so busy, I'd get a TENS unit, a muscle stimulator, and just put it on throughout the day.
Fun fact: I thought I tore a muscle or did something to my hip. It was kidney stones. And so I bought one of those because I'm like, it hurts.
You know where kidney stones are from?
Yeah, energy drinks.
And soda?
Yeah.
And dehydration.
Don't you judge me right now.
I got gallstones. I wasn't judging you. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's what is the term for casting the first stone?
It was actually pre-workouts. The pre-workout, the doctor's like, do you drink a lot of pre-workouts and energy drinks? I'm like, that's 90% of what I drink. And he's like, that's where it's from.
Yeah. Stop storing lines off the hood of your car before you go to the gym at 11 p.m.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. Bucked Up has a lot of...
Yeah, it's stimulants too. They do their non-stim.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want the vasodilation and all you're doing, the best way to describe caffeine, although I get it, is you're going to a bank with no means to be able to pay the loan back, and you're taking one out every day. Every day at like 36% interest. So
that's really good. That's a really good way to put it.
So yeah, that's most people, even these high level coaches, endless amounts of caffeine. And one of the things, a problem is there's a correlation between caffeine and other ways to get stimulation in the brain. Doom scrolling, porn, all of it's correlated. And these are the things that I'm glad.
Well, talking to Felicia, she's like, you need to get off of that because that's what's helping. She thinks my cortisol levels are high.
Oh, I know they are.
Yeah.
If you're drinking that much.
Well, yeah. And she's like, you need to get off that because but also I am very high stressed all the time. I'm in fight or flight a lot.
We can get you out of that. I used to be too.
So
I was this morning.
I own a company. I have Dad Bods. I do middle-aged mayhem, and I work full-time on base. And
but the thing is, you're addicted to the stress, right?
That's another thing that it's like Felicia. I go to Felicia weekly.
Yeah.
And I just started 2 weeks ago. I've known Felicia for a while, but I find like expensive programs.
What I would say for you, I get it. And then me and her are actually going to work together. She's going to start putting some of her therapy options in with my training.
Oh, smart.
I'm her coach too. Like when it comes to physical coaching, so like we'll be getting her more into the gym and stuff too.
She's amazing.
I love Felicia, but that being said, like you have to find ways to get around your bullshit. So like if you know you can't work out until 11 p.m., maybe get like a walking treadmill.
Because the gym doesn't freaking open until 5, but I'm like, I have to be at work at 6. And I'm like, that doesn't work. And
squats, push-ups, there's a lot of things you could do without a gym.
Here's my thing is like, because I am doing the high rocks workouts, it's the sled push, it's the wall balls, and I don't have a sled, but it's still a lot of running, it's still a lot of push and pulls, things like that. It's just, but in my mind, I'm like, I can't do it unless I'm at the gym.
Something is better than nothing.
I agree. However, I love the ski erg.
Yeah. Do you have a ski erg at home in the garage?
But I want one.
Could you get one?
I don't know. Because they're expensive.
I might have an option for you because I know a gym getting rid of some equipment, and we're taking it over. And but yeah, there's 2 ski ergs there.
Dude, ski ergs.
Yeah,
it's a full body workout.
And then I also know a lady too that has a Teresa. She has like a storage unit that she's getting rid of things at a discounted rate. So there's a way you could do a home high rocks. Mm-hmm. I actually have high rocks programs because I built some for my friends, but I think if you could do zone 2, like, so if you had a walking treadmill and you could just at least get to that. And
I live right next to a trail that I love to go to.
Well, I'm just saying in general, say if you're at work and you can do a standing desk with walking in general, like one of the walking treadmills, so you're not running, there's ways you can at least mitigate like some of the, I can only get here at this. So like if you really want to, you could put things in there. You could bring a kettlebell to work. You could do 10 squats every hour or something like that. So you could find ways to make it happen if you really wanted to do it.
I do.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If you have a skier, but it's hard too if you don't want to.
I'm close to quitting that job.
Yeah, good for you.
So we're close.
Yeah, but then that way too, it's just like options. Like so, but I would say if it's one day out of the week to hit the gym and you have those goals, just make sure it's one of those days at 11 p.m. that you feel the best, and it's not the day that you're struggling the most.
Yeah.
But then if the day after and you feel yourself and you feel like you need more energy drinks and more, then it's going to be counterproductive and you're going to be more dehydrated. Things aren't going to be functioning the way you want to. So it's a chess game. It's not checkers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's making sure that and that's what it is. It's like looking at the whole board, and unfortunately, it's 3D chess. So you have like the 3 boards. And you're still down here on the bottom one. People are moving the top ones, and you're like, motherfucker.
What I love about working out though is it does help me. Like my mental health. Like Candace, like when you come home after you're working out, you can just see it in your face that you're in a better headspace. I'm like, 100%. And I love the cold plunge and hot sauna too, and that you can do. And it's just like, it really does help you.
Oh, 100%. I think there are, it just depends on the budget, but I know there are private gyms that are lock and key that you can go in, like Big Mountain Barbell and some of the other ones. I think.
Yeah, I live in West Point area, in Clinton, Syracuse area, and there's nothing there. However, they are building a gym, but it's not going to be done until the end of the year.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Huge.
Yeah, is it one of those Wolf Den something?
I want to say it's an EOS, but it's like.
And they're 24 hours.
Yeah, and they are literally. It's like, I'm not joking when I say it's like the size of a high school. Like, it's huge.
Oh, I bet.
And I mean, they're going to have so much there. It's like almost like a private resort type of work. But I've already I'll probably join that because that's only going to be like 2 miles from my house.
Okay. No, that's great. Yeah. And then, dude, if you ever need any help with programming, just let me know. I got you.
For sure.
Yeah, you do so much for so many people. I'd love to help out.
I appreciate it. Man.
Yeah, that's all. It takes a tribe, and then for you, those are the people I like to train the most, are the people that are pillars to society that need that help with regrouting their structure.
No, it's true because I feel like I help a lot. It's just there's certain things that I'm not a guru at. That's definitely not.
And that's my
I know how to power lift.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then that's the fun thing too, is like I know those things too, but it doesn't help with longevity. It's same with bodybuilding and macros. Most of those guys are dead at 50.
Smiley face from deadlifts.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, when I got my umbilical hernia.
Oh, dang.
So I have a little smiley face too, you know.
I even know core training to re-strengthen all the area there, so you don't have any more issues for those kind of things too.
Yeah.
Because I almost had an hiatal hernia from wrestling.
Oh, really?
I was doing handstand walks wrong, and then I scorpioned, and my belly button went boop, like
really
tore.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, like the very top. If you look, the top of the belly button.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like so. My coach put a tennis ball and wrapped an ace bandage around my stomach and just said, "Leave that for a day or two. Don't come to class or don't come to practice." And then it's been okay, but then depending on the way people breathe too, they push in different parts of their sternum, and like so that can pop things out too. It's like most people when they do sit-ups, their stomach goes out instead of in, and that'll cause hernias as well.
So Logan, he was doing the hot chips challenge with his family, and a couple years ago in California with his family during Christmas, and it was so hot for him that he threw up and kept choking and created a hernia. His whole stomach up his esophagus. And they're like, well, we have two options. We can give you some medication. Hopefully it just slips out for a little bit. Or we do surgery. And he's like, we'll just wait and see. So he worked construction at the time. He did excavation, and he'd get his tractor and he'd hang on his tractor. And then one day it's where
Yep, I was going to say what happens too is like some people that don't know how to activate their diaphragm, their stomach will slip up above that.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and that's a type of hernia too. And then so that you can actually get that to pull back. And then for him to learn how to belly breathe, you can, because you have your rector muscles, which are your six-pack abs, and then you have a built-in corset, which is your transverse abdominis. Being able to to move each one of those separately. Well, I mean, it's hard to move them separately, but being able to use and activate your diaphragm and your transverse abdominis, you won't have as many issues like that.
Yeah. He says the most pain he's ever had.
Oh, I bet. I've had gallstones and that sucked.
Oh,
that was rough. Luckily, I was able to dissolve them with some herbal stuff and get rid of them. But
it's usually the natural stuff that works so that they don't push.
No, holistic. I'll be 37 and my testosterone's naturally 1,000 right now.
Oh, wow.
And I got it tested 6 weeks ago.
Good for you.
So, but it's all it's a process.
Not mine.
Well, I'm just saying that the process. We have movement, vitamin, mineral deficiencies, and spiritual deficiencies, and that's what happens, and that's why we're depressed, we're diseased, and then our cells are shot. And the only thing we know is caffeine and hitting the gym, but that's it. Just raises cortisol levels.
Yeah.
So.
Because I'm focused on something else. So
yeah, no, for sure. I think we were getting close. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being on today.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Hopefully that someone learned something.
No, they will. That was fun.
For a little bit, we talked about me.
Yeah. Well, we can have you on again too. So we'll go back and forth. Today I think that was meant to happen. I pray in the morning to make sure that everybody hears what they need to. And then for me too, I've had people like they want to hear more about my stories, and I try to be vulnerable. I don't hide anything, so I think that'll get out there too. That needs to hear, because everybody can see somebody through the lens of the camera and just think they have a perfect life, but that's not the case. And usually people that are higher earners or go-getters have more stress and they have more complications. And going into a 9-to-5 is comfortable and for some people, but owning a company and trying to be an entrepreneur and trying to wear 10,000 hats and still make it to the gym at 11 p.m., that can be depressing too. It's very stressful, especially when you got a lot of people counting on you.
Yeah.
So, and I feel the same way. But in closing, you look at the camera or this one here, and then just 3 things that could be advice, tips and tricks to the listeners. So just first 3 things that comes to your mind that you think has helped you out in life or helps other individuals that could help other individuals out.
Yeah. Love yourself. Know that it's okay when you make mistakes, and fight for yourself. Because you are the only one who's going to. Meaning, people are going to try to tell you not to do things. People are going to try to tell you to stop doing what they think you shouldn't be doing. fight for your dreams, fight for your aspirations, fight for who you think you are, because in the end it'll be worth it. Because the people who are saying no to you now, or who are fighting against you, you won't be a part of their lives anymore, because you will have outgrown them, and it won't even matter. Because you only have this life once. You should be happy, because you're worth it. You're worth fighting for. You're worth being happy.
Those are great. I love that. That was speaking to my heart too. Like, it's sometimes you get stuck in between your old life and your new life.
Yeah.
It's hard to let go.
Well, that's why I'm talking to you about all this stuff that I want to know, because I'm like, this is what I'm trying really hard to do. Is I'm fighting to, like, physical is where I have lacked for so many years, and so it's really something that I'm trying so hard, because as someone with mental health issues, and I'm trying to talk about physical is so important, just as strong as having a strong mind.
And repairing your gut will repair your brain.
Yeah.
Because most of those neurons, you have 10,000 neurons in your stomach, same as like a Labrador.
Felicia's all saying, Tyson, your stomach, man. We need to talk about microdosing and all this kind of stuff. And it's like all this kind of stuff.
I would say let's create a level of discipline and get your body feeling good without the monsters. Because I mean, you're putting something in your body that's called a monster.
Yeah,
you know,
so true.
I don't care what orifice you're putting that in. You don't need monsters in your body. But anyways,
done, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
me. Of course, dude. My pleasure. Thanks for stumbling through that with me. There's like
whatever.
2 people that are podcasters that are like,
I'm used to hosting.
Yeah,
shut up.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I wanted that. It's very open. I promise. It's nothing like that. I love that you ask questions. It's open book here. It's more of a conversation than it is an interview. You know, so wherever it goes, some people like structure. There was structure somewhere along the way, but thank you for coming in. I'd love to be on your podcast.
Absolutely.
And something I haven't been saying that I should say now is please like, follow, and subscribe, and send this to anybody that it would help out. So remember, we get stuck in our heads a lot, so let's get out of our minds and into our hearts. Have a great day, everybody.
Take care.